What's up guys, and welcome to episode 4 of I Review Your Teams, or if you want to use the hashtag Benny Reviews. A little bit delay on these videos, I'll be honest with you guys, because one, FUT Champs is here, and if you guys don't know, it's very important this year with FUT Champs for Pro Qualifiers, so a lot of my focus is in that. But also, obviously, I asked for these teams probably like a week ago now, so a lot of you guys would have made changes to your team for Weekend League and probably got some upgrades, so I do apologise for the slight delay on that. Obviously now FUT Champs is here, I can actually get a proper schedule how I want the YouTube channels, the videos to work on the channel. So I do think I'm probably going to do 2 of these a week, so I'm not sure when I'm going to start tweeting out yet for the teams or how to submit your teams. You guys do know if you want to use the hashtag Benny Reviews on Twitter, I can see your teams there, or Instagram DMs, I can also see it there, and also when I tweet out for Twitter. But yeah, I'm going to be reviewing the final teams, what I did receive the other week. I think there's going to be 2 videos. These are going to be back to back, this one and then one tomorrow. And then we get into the FUT Champ stuff, squad builders, and get a full schedule. And I will mention how this full schedule will work when we get into the next few videos. But yeah, sit back, relax. Hopefully your team is in this. If it's not in this one yet, it is definitely coming. And then obviously once we get into the later stages of the weeks, we'll get a schedule together. But yeah, if you are new around here, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and let's get into the video. Right, let's get into the first team here. We've got Anchor FIFA over on Twitter. As I do mention, sorry if I am late to your teams and you've done a load of changes. Unfortunately, that's just how things have just gone this week. But as I mentioned in the intro, things will be a lot better coming into the future of this YouTube channel. Obviously, a lot more schedule based will be in play, but let's get into the teams, what you guys have showed me. I think we're gonna have like 7 teams in this one and 7 teams in the next one, back-to-back video. So, and then I should be fully caught up with the teams, and then once again, as I mentioned in the intro, I'll be re-asking for some teams and so on. Or if you guys just want to auto submit your teams, use the hashtag Benny Reviews. I think it's in the bottom right of the screen, so use that on Twitter and I'll see your team instantly on there. But let's get into Anchor's team. So all round a very solid team, a lot of sweaty overpowered players who do work really well in this game. Obviously we got Kyle Walker, Gomez, Neuer, Hernandez, Alphonso Davies, Adama Traore, Wijnaldum, Sane, Havertz, Kante and Rodrigo. Great players all round. I'm looking at the team where I think he's most weak is Traore. Even though he's got loads of pace, the thing what he like you just can't shoot with him, or you can't. Sometimes you can't even pass with him. Like all he is just that guy to run down the wing. And for me, I can't be having that in my team. I need somebody who's got a bit of everything, really. I guess that they can shoot, they've got the pace, they've got the passing, they've got good dribbling and so on. Sane brings out. The only thing what I would say about Sane is obviously his weak foot's a little bit naff, but that is how it is at the end of the day. So what I would be looking to do is get Adama out as soon as possible, and I'll be going for like somebody like Rashford in there and play him off weekend. I know weekend players are not the greatest to use, but I think you could probably get away with 1 or 2 players depending on what positions on a weekend. The best thing with Rashford as well, you could use him through the middle if you want as well. Like you could either use him as a central striker, or you can still use him out wide, which I think what you're probably going to do with Rashford. And then you got Rodrigo up top. I think he's definitely a weaker option. I think with FUT Champs here, I'm noticing Rodrigo's not actually that great. But at the start of the game, obviously he was unreal. So maybe we look into grading Rodrigo. And the problem is with strikers in the Prem, as I think I mentioned a couple episodes ago, 1, they're either really expensive, or 2, they're not actually that great. I know a few people are saying that this Jesus card, there's something a little bit fishy with him. He seems like ridiculously good for the card he's actually got. He plays a lot better than he is, so maybe have a little look at Jesus. If you're okay with Rodrigo, because like if you're going from Rodrigo to another upgrade, you're looking at maybe like Aubameyang or Werner or Martial. Probably Martial is obviously the next upgrade into the team. But like always with a lot of your guys' teams, we're at that point where you need a couple 100k to actually upgrade your team to be a lot more, just a lot better, CDMs are fine. I think you're playing 4-2-3-1. It's okay, you got like a player who can do it all with Wijnaldum, and then Kante's a defensive player. That's not a problem. For me, I'm not a big fan of Lucas Hernandez on this game. But obviously, I think you were trying to use the links of Davis into Neuer and so on. But for me, I would maybe even look to get rid of them, put Gomez out on the left, and you can have any Premier League right centre back here. So if we go into the centre backs real quick in the Prem, we'll go for the pace, because the pace matters. Obviously, got Kyle Walker in form, which is apparently a really good card. Got Van Dijk, Sanchez. I think Sanchez might be a little bit better. I've heard good things about Ake. So you know what? Let's try and bring Ake in. Bring Nathan Ake in. He might have a little bit less pace, but I think he's, with a lot of Premier League players, they're a lot better than their card says, you know, and I think that's something you need to consider when you're looking at these players. Obviously, they come with a lot more pricier range. Obviously, I think Ake's price is actually quite a bit right now because he was in a one to watch, and then obviously you put Edison in goal to give the strong link. Everyone stays on full chem. Obviously, we've done the change of the Rashfords and Martial. I would say the Ake one isn't like vital. I think the Adama Traore switch and the striker switch is your go-to ones for the start, but just the extra option of giving you something else to look at when you're building your team, because obviously you have some nice links in here with Asane, Alphonso Davis and Havertz, so you don't really need any other links for your team. So that is team 1 done for Anchor. Nice quick overall team. This team should be very good for FUT Champs against team 2. On to team 2 here, we've got MikeyJ's team over on Twitter. Looking like a very cheap, sweaty team. You know, I think that's where a lot of you guys have done quite well, actually just building the basis of the team and making sure they are they're good enough to play with, I think, for FUT Champs, rivals, whatever it may be. I would say there's a few changes what I would be doing. Obviously, you're committed to the Tonelli now. This Hernandez card isn't actually meant to be Hernandez. It's meant to be a guy called Mojuke or something like that. I can't even spell his name, MOJ. But he's not got the Atalanta card on foot head, so I just put Hernandez in there for now, just as a placeholder. But we're going to be probably changing up the team slightly here. Take out the left back, take out Dumfries. Dumfries isn't fast enough in my opinion. Take out Anthony and Mallon. We go to a 4-3-3 standard. Keeping the Neres and Quincy Promes, because obviously they come with 5-star skills and really good cards this year. And then we'll probably bring in Haps as the left back. Take out Nkulu. As the left centre back, we're bringing Robin Noglia. I don't think you lose anything crazy there. I think it might be even an upgrade. And then obviously get that strong link into Tonelli, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Obviously, we've got a nice strong links all down the left. So now all we really need to do is just go Serie A for the rest of the team, and there's a lot of sweaty options for you to have in your Serie A teams. So let's have a little quick look on FUTBIN, because I won't remember all of them on top of my head. I don't want to miss out anyone. I think with right backs, I already know who I want to put in. I think it's like Bruno Perez. I think he's yeah, here he is, 1.6k. So bring Bruno Perez in as the right back. As the centre mids, we're looking at go right wingers first. Actually, right wingers, I think really your only option. That's the only problem with Serie A. The right wing options are pretty naff, so you're probably going to have to go Lozano there, and then you're going to have to either have somebody from Napoli or somebody who's Italian or from AC Milan. So you could go Rebic, and then you've got a similar player to Marlon, and I think Rebic is a lot better overall anyway, how it feels in game. And then we got one position left, which is probably we need a midfielder who can do it all. And the best thing about this, you can literally put any Serie A centre mid in there who you want. So we just go to the ratings real quick here. We've got who would I say is like the go-to guy? You got Nainggolan, he's really good always in FIFA. You got Barella, Zielinski looks really nice. Bentenko's quite decent as well. Kessie's got a good card. There's a lot of options in this Serie A. For me, I'm just going to put Nainggolan in there as the placeholder player. As I mentioned, you can go with any Serie A midfielder, whoever you want. And I think this team just makes your team, it's a slight upgrade. It might be a little bit more costly, but I would assume probably by the time this video actually comes out, one, your team might look completely different, or two, you have a little bit more coins in the bank. And I think this is what I would do if I was working with that sort of budget for your team. Obviously, you bring in a lot more pace and a little bit more quality within the team as well, with Lozano, Rebic, who else is in there? Nainggolan. I think Perez is a better right back than Dumfries. I think Harris is a really good left back. I don't think he's too much different to I think Mojika is the guy who he was using. Roman Ogley is very similar to the, I can't remember, Nkulu, I think it was, who you had there as well. So very solid team all round. Maybe if we get some more coins, I think we look to upgrade Roman Ogley into like Koulibaly, and then, you know, that team's really set. Then we're just looking to do some bigger upgrades for the greater end of the team. So yeah, hopefully that helps for your team. On to team 3 here, we have SmithSFC 14, I think, over on Twitter. Obviously this is a team 3 of the video, looking like a very, I literally say this with every team, it's all very good, to be honest with you. Like, you guys have done pretty decent on the way you've actually built your team. I don't see any flaws really with this team. It's really more so like, what's the next step, what do I buy when I'm seeing this team. And I think there's a few upgrades you can do. Obviously I think Cancelo could be one. We're looking to bring a Walker in, or Semedo. I'm going to say Semedo just because it's slightly cheap, and I think maybe he could be a bit better for your money. Lucas Moura, he's once again, like, the thing is with the Prem, the right mid is really bad unless you go Salah or Gareth Bale, but then I don't think they're that great. So what I would do, like I mentioned in the first team, I'll probably play Rashford on weekend as your right mid. He brings obviously that 5-star skills to your team, a little bit more class as well over Lucas Moura. I think it's just a little bit more clinical. Then on left mid, you could obviously go Son, but I personally think Son's best position is through the middle, and that's the only slightly problem with this. And I wouldn't really want to use Martial or Werner really on the left. So it's one of those, like, yes, it is an upgrade, but like, what else is there available? And you could go Inform St. Maxime, which could be an option. I think it'd be better as an actual winger. So I just clicked off Forbin, that's not great. I think St. Maxime is just a little bit better as a winger, and as I mentioned, I think Son's better as a striker. I think that's just the best decision for him. So maybe look to get St. Maxime in form just as that upgrade, and then maybe look to get a Paul Pogba in there just so you have, you know, you got a bit more. Sissoko's really good. He comes in with loads of good defensive stats and really fast and good presence. But I think Pogba obviously gives you that 5-star skills and that attacking ability. So they're probably the 3 changes I would do. I don't think you really need to do too crazy with it. As I said, it's just one of them things where you just need to. Your team was very good. It's just like, what's the next upgrades? And I think this is quite a quick one of me basically being able to say, just get these 3 players, and I think you'll be fine. If you're looking, if there's any places where you're probably thinking what's a lot bit weaker, I know not a lot of people like Alisson this year, so maybe you could even go Walker as that right back, and then use Courtois instead, and then obviously Gomez still keeps his. He doesn't keep his cam because he's got 2 red links. Completely ignore me then. We're keeping Alisson, unfortunately. But yeah, you know, there's a few things you could do with the team, but nothing too crazy. Once again, it's one of those where we're probably looking at like 500k, 600k to really make an actual proper change to the team. Because once you get to this point, for example, we're really just saving for Neymar or Mbappe or Ronaldo. You know, I don't think there's really too much we can do. So great team, Smith, but as I said, there isn't really too much for me to change here apart from just a couple upgrades here and there. You might not even want to upgrade Sissoko to Pogba because some people like to obviously have that 2 defensive minded players in the middle. But I think Rashford's definitely the call for the right side, and then left side, as I mentioned, you could get Son, but as an actual winger, I think Son's not the greatest for that. I think it's a lot better through the striker or the cam position. So that is what I would do with team 3. Let's go on to team 4. On to team 4. I was going to say team 3. Team 4, we got Canada over on Twitter. Very good team. The thing is that this is probably one of the fewer. Well, the second team I made a lot of changes, and then this one I think that there's a lot of changes for me to make a lot of upgrades you can make to your team to make it a lot better, and just, you know, it's quite simple upgrades, which is a good thing. So let's get into them. Obviously, one of the main things I'm looking at here is that your Semedo's on week cam. For me, it's not too much of an issue, but I would like to have him on full cam. So what you could look to do is obviously get a strong link here. I know a lot of people are doing like Semedo and Adama. But as I mentioned about Adama, all he has is that pace, and there's nothing crazy there. So what can we really do? Apart from obviously use Semedo, we can go up to Kyle Walker and then look to get an English right mid from the Prem, and I guarantee there's probably no good English right mids from the Prem because they're all on the left, aka we're gonna have to use Rashford once again on weekend. Obviously that's a bit of a pricier upgrade, that, but if you think it might be worth looking at too. And obviously if you want to even go just cut the price a little bit down, go Wan-Bissaka Rashford for now. I think your centre backs are great here. You could upgrade Golaski into Neuer, and then left back I think we go for Alphonso Davies, because I think Alphonso Davies might be the best left back apart from Mendy in the game. Obviously that means Saint Maxime goes on weekend, which is not a problem because I'm going to change a couple of things within this team. We'll take Saint Maxime out, take Emre Can out. We then put Havertz as the striker. We're bringing Goretzka as the left cam. So you now have a better upgrade of Chan with Goretzka, and then you can have Lema and Goretzka as your midfielders. And then we have Leroy Sané on the left mid. You could probably put any Bundesliga left mid. So if you don't have the money for Sané, then you can get Kingsley Coman, Douglas Costa if you want to keep that 5-star skills on the wing. Which actually might be... You know what, we'll say that just because obviously the upgrade of Rashford is quite an expensive one, so maybe we'll just say go Costa now. But I think this team just makes your team a little bit more complete, a little bit more finished, and a little bit better as well. I think obviously the Goretzka upgrade is great. Costa change from Saint Maxime, we're not missing anything out there. You know, they're basically exactly the same player, apart from I think Saint Maxime comes with better weak foot, but I think Costa feels a little bit more sharper in game. Alphonso Davies is obviously a great upgrade on the Roussillon. Centre back stay the same, upgrade on the keeper with Neuer. Got full chem now on the right side with Wan-Bissaka. I would rather have a weak chem attacker than a weak chem defender. That's just how I have it, because I feel like if I have a weak chem defender, if there's a mistake, I'm just going to blame it on that. With an attacker, you know your players are going to miss chances, so if they're on 7, 8, 9, 10, they're probably still going to miss. You know, that's how it is at the end of the day, unless it's sometimes there's a few things that are a little bit fishy, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that's what I would do to your team, mate. There's nothing... There was actually a few decent changes, and if you're looking to maybe upgrade it after that, maybe we look to change Lema into somebody at a later date. But I think for now, this is more than good enough upgrade, and I think we changed the team. We kept doing your base of your team, but we changed it up for the better. So let me know if you've made any of these upgrades to your team, Canon. Let's get onto the Instagram teams. Right, onto the Instagram teams. Now, if you guys want to submit your team over on Instagram, head over into the description or just click on the name what I'm about to tell you on Instagram. My Instagram is venny.fifa. If you send me your team on message request, I will also put that into the videos. And also just drop me a follow if you guys have not followed on my Instagram yet. We're going to be trying to bring a bit more content out there. Some FIFA stuff, some real life stuff, but obviously, as I always mention, real life stuff at the moment is a little bit more difficult because obviously COVID's around, so it's probably going to be more FIFA related content. We've got Carl's team here, who obviously messaged me on Instagram, but he actually came from my stream, so if you guys want to head over into the description as well and click onto the Facebook link, my streams will be there too. But let's get into his team here. We've got De Gea, Kappa, Hermoso, Nacho Fernandez, Marcelo, Rodri, João Felix, Saul, Hazard, Ansu Fati and Traore. And the main thing what I'm looking at this team is these midfielders suck, I'll be honest with you. Rodri, Saul, awful. Kappa, Marcelo, too slow. You know, that's what I'm looking at. These players are way too slow for the team we're trying to build here. So this is what I would do if this is my team. I'll change it to the 4-5-1 basic. We can keep some of the base players, you know, like as I always try and do with everyone's team. I don't want to change it up too crazy, but I do want to make it a little bit better for you guys. So of course we're going to be changing up a little bit things here. So obviously with Adama on the right, we're going to use the Semedo strong link here. We've got a better right back now, like a lot better right back, and we obviously keep Adama in, so that's always a key. Ansu Fati still stays there, play them up on the weak cam, Hazard still on the left. Then I'll go Laurent. So much better than Saul. I think when you was in my stream I actually mentioned this. I think Laurent shits over Saul. Excuse my language, but he's just so much better than Saul. I think it's just such a better upgrade for you to build into your team. So I look to get him in there. And then as the other midfielder, if we got a bit more coins, we're looking at Rivaldo, I think, and these two are the key to your La Liga midfielders this year. Best two midfielders for a reasonable price this year. Renato Sanchez is a great option, but he's very hard to link unless you're going for Gelson Martin and stuff like that. But we won't talk about that in this one. But I would get Laurent and Rivaldo into your teams. Problem with the La Liga is the left backs are pretty average unless you're spending big money. You got Ferland Mendy, Jordi Alba. You did have Marcelo. For me, we're not in like 2012 anymore. You know, Marcelo ain't got that pace. He ain't keeping up with these fast players. So for now, I'm going to say go with Jordi Alba because he's a little bit, about 60k cheaper than Mendy. If you've got the coins, go for Mendy. And then from there, we can obviously do the other upgrades. But I think Jordi Alba for now because I'm going to make a couple more upgrades to this team looking at the centre back. So Jordi Alba into there. I'm keeping, as I said, I try and keep most things, but this team needed a lot of changes, I'll be honest. We'll take out De Gea. I don't know if he's untradeable or not. If he is untradeable, let me know, because I'll give you maybe I'll put him on a bench, because we might need to do an option of him in there. Actually, the option with De Gea still in your team is by keeping these two centre-backs. But if he's untradeable, then I would say do that. But if he's not, and you can sell him, let's change up this defence as well. I think we need to bring in Carlos, who's definitely one of the best centre backs this year. I think it's like him, Joe Gomez, and Klosterman as the top 3 centre backs this year. So definitely look to get him in. And what you can even do is bring in like Eden Matau, another great defender. And then you got the Brazilian strong links here. Then you can go any keeper you want. So I'll just actually, do you know what? I put the Courtois in, but actually Stegen's the best keeper in the game as always. This is so much better than what the team you showed me originally. Of course, it's a lot more expensive. I would assume, we're probably looking at like 30, 20, 30. So that's like, what's that? 60, 80, 120, 160. He's cheap now. He's probably like another 50. So you're looking at like a 210k upgrade, but it's definitely worth spending 210k on this upgrade. This team will absolutely destroy on your team. I know you was enjoying your team, you were saying in the chat, but I think this would make the team a lot more all-round, a lot more sweaty and overpowered as well. So I would recommend to go for this team. Carl, let me know in the streams, maybe at a later date, if you do go with any of these upgrades. Let's get into the other Instagram teams now though. On to the final team of the episode even, of the episode. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we got Thomas Barnard over on Instagram. Just a heads up as well, I forgot to mention, when you send me your guys' teams, let me know how much of your budget you've got as well, so I know when I'm building it, this is what you're looking at, this is the upgrades you can make, because obviously I'm giving you upgrades with like 500k at some points, and you might not even have 500k, you might only have like 20k, so let me know your budgets, the formation you play in game, and any players what you don't want to get rid of as well. But we've got Thomas's team here, who actually let me know the formation he was using in game. He's using a 4-2-3-1. So yeah, this is his team. Great defense. We've got Alisson, Wan-Bissaka, Gomez, Alaba, Davis. Then midfield, Ndidi, Havertz, Kimmich, and then attack, we've got Sebastian Sterling and Aubameyang. Great team all round. We're lacking a little bit of chem, obviously, in the attack, which is a bit of a slight issue, but we'll go over that in a second. I think Ndidi's fine. The defense is fine. I think we could probably upgrade Kimmich into Goretzka. I think Goretzka's a lot better. Just obviously comes with a bigger presence as well. I think it's quite important to have them tall guys in midfield this year, because they are. I think strength is really important with obviously the shield and so on. So I think Goretzka's obviously that better upgrade there. On Kimmich, we don't lose anything too much on the chemistry side. And obviously with Havertz here, we've got a slight issue with chemistry. So let me have a little think about this. Obviously, I think we've got to look at maybe getting Rashford in. I think every team we've seen today, Rashford's been in it, which is a bit of an issue, but still, that is how it goes sometimes. Rashford is, I think, one of the top 5 attackers in the Premier League this year, so he's always going to be probably top 3 actually this year. So there's not any Chelsea wingers, is there? That's a bit of an issue. So okay. Maybe we go Bale. I feel like he likes skills, that's why he's got St. Maxime in. Bale or Lucas? I think Lucas actually might be better. Take out Sterling, bring in Lucas Moura into the team. Great option for you guys to have. The problem is, what left wingers are there? There's a few in there. You got Mane, Sterling, Son, Rashford. Big one, but he's cheap. Philippe Anderson. Okay. We go Son. He's got a middle cam though, so as I mentioned, I don't think Son's that great on the wide. I think we go Rashford. But yeah, I think we go Rashford here. If you like the 5-star skills, actually, you know what? I actually don't think. No, I would keep St. Maxime actually on weak cam. Have Rashford there, but I think we look to get in like a United midfielder so we can get everything on full cam, or an English midfielder, which there's some options here actually. League. I just said league. Nation. That's what we're looking for. England. Any English midfielders who are sweaty and overpowered this year? Nope, not at all. Not one. Okay. What about? I think obviously United's got Pogba, Bruno Fernandes actually in that midfield next to Indeed could be quite nice. Or Van der Beek. If you're working on a budget, I'll give you two options here. If you're working on a budget, wait, Indeed he's gone in it. It's Goretzka. That's fine. That's even better. If we're working on a budget, we go Van der Beek because obviously the upgrade to Rashford is expensive. But if you got a bit more coins, for me when I play a 4-2-3-1, I like one of my midfielders to be more attacking and a bit more better in the attack. You know, when I'm trying to like drive that ball forward. And I think Fernandes is a great option for that. If you put him, Goretzka and Fernandes, it'd be a great partnership in there. Obviously, you make sure Rashford on full chem. You keep your St. Maxime. You got 5-star skills on either wing now, and then you got Havertz and Aubameyang through the middle. I think that's a great team all round now. So yeah, great defense already was in there. Just changed up the midfield slightly. A couple of upgrades here and there. Problem is obviously the upgrades here are quite expensive. I would say like the Fernandes and Rashford, you're looking at 300k, maybe 400k for the pair of them. So that's why I mentioned about Van der Beek possibly being an option just for now into your team. But you could also, if you want to keep your coins, you could low-key go like a French guy in midfield, right? And there's a lot of French sweaty players. Like, so if you don't like Van der Beek, we could go, you know what? I think this is actually better. I would actually say this is better, unless you can obviously afford Bruno or Pogba. We go Moussa Sissoko in the midfield and we get the strong link and saying, I see play Rashford on the weekend. Fantastic stuff. This is what I would do to your team. Can't remember the lad's name. One of the lads over on Instagram. This is what I would do to your team though, mate. But yeah, that'll be it for the video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't seen your team yet, it will be coming. I promise it'll be here tomorrow. And if I somehow miss somebody's team, I will be mind blown personally. But that is it for the video. So yeah, peace.